So you've been out adventuring in the field all day and now you find yourself having to attend a social engagement. Now whether it's a Christmas party or a banquet at Pancop Palace, I'm here to help you go from adventure gear to professor gear. Let's get started. Okay, well the first thing about attending a social event is it's probably indoors. And you know what, Indy? You don't wear a hat when you're indoors. So the first thing that's got to go is the hat. Aww. Next, the leather jacket. Not quite fancy enough for a soiree. Let's get rid of that. Satchels. And certainly a whip or a gun belt aren't quite the way you want to accessorize for a fancy dinner. Now out in the jungle, it's hot, you gotta unbutton your shirt, show off your chest, but at dinner, that's a big faux pas. So let's button that up all the way to the top, like a gentleman. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now next, we need a tie. This is a tie affair. And ties may have gone out of fashion in the last few years, but I always feel like any time is a good time to wear a tie. For this, I'm gonna use the Magnolia Temple of Doom bow tie. And if you have a big fat neck like me, you're gonna want to extend that sucker all the way out. I've watched a lot of videos on how to tie bow ties. I've had to do it a couple times over the years. And I feel like none of them really explain what is needed. They just show you how to do it, but they don't really explain the theory behind it. And basically, your bows, and there's gonna end up being two of them. They're back to back, they sit on top of each other. One bow will have a side that's folded over that you can stick your finger down. And the other side will just be the single ribbon. The idea is to have your front and back side both have a folded side and a single side, and they alternate over each other like this, so that you have something you can lace your finger through here and lace your finger through there. And they alternate, so that way it's folded, flat, flat, folded. That's what you should end up with, and that's what you should shoot for when you're tying your tie. So, I'm gonna get this thing here, even it up. Now I've heard people say long side, short side, whatever. I just make them the same length, it works. So what you're gonna do is crisscross them and pull one side from underneath and out and tighten it like that. This side that you pulled out from underneath, throw it over your shoulder. There you go. Now you're gonna take, this will be the front of your bow. You're gonna kind of go like this so that you have this folded part and then the single part, right? You're gonna hold it like that. The part you threw over your shoulder, you're gonna bring down, okay? Like that. So you're gonna wanna push these together, and then if you look in the back, there'll be this little loop right here. See it? It shouldn't necessarily be this big, but I'm exaggerating it for you. So what you wanna do is take this one, the back one. Since you wanna have folded flat, flat folded, the folded side should go through here first. And you're just gonna bunch it up and push it through the hole, okay? Just like that. Then you go like this. You take your fingers and you lace them through the folded side in the back, and then you just go like that. And you start finessing it. And finessing it. And making it neat and getting it under the collar and going like that. And tightening on each side. Pulling the folds apart and then pulling the unfolded parts together until you have something that looks pretty neat and even. So something like that. Now this Magnolia tie feels like it's kind of like polyester, so it's very stiff, it holds its shape very well, and it's easy to tie. Silk ties, a little tougher, but it's okay. Like a silk tie, it's kind of okay for a silk tie to look a little messy. I think it adds something to it. This polyester one, very stiff, very easy to tie and keep neat. And then let's set off the look a little bit more. You know, Indy, when he's out of his adventure mode, he kind of goes into like a Clark Kent look where he wears his glasses. We're not really sure what the glasses are for. Sometimes he seems to need them for distance. Sometimes he seems to need them for reading. I think we all know it's just a disguise so he becomes Professor Jones. So for glasses, we all know that he wore the Savile Row Beaufort Pantos in 14 karat gold. Those glasses are really expensive. In fact, they almost cost as much as a pair of Aldens. There are alternatives out there that you can wear that kind of have the same look. So basically you want the tortoiseshell rounded lenses type of glasses. I have 2 pairs. I have the knockoffs from Magnoli, and these are made to really look like the Beauforts. They even have the ear hooks, which, you know, make it a challenge to take them on and off, but they won't fall off your face, I can tell you that much. Now, I have a big head, and these glasses are a bit small for my face. They don't look quite the same way they look on Harrison Ford. So if a big noggin is troubling you, then maybe the Magnoli glasses aren't for you. They're a pain to take off. I also have these tortoiseshell glasses that I bought off of Zenny. I think they were 30 bucks, and I got my prescription put in them. So when I wear these, I can actually see. Indy had one more piece of gear to set him off for his dinner at Pankot Palace, and that was his tweed coat. Now, where did the tweed coat come from? Did he bring it with him in his bag? Or what I think is, they just let him borrow one from the Pankot Palace coat closet. I mean, they had a princess dress for Willie. There's a good chance there was a tweed jacket in their wardrobe as well. And I have 2 different tweed jackets. Now, my first tweed jacket is one that I found on eBay. It is 100% wool. It's made by a company called Hagar or Hagar. It is called the Imperial by Hagar. This jacket I liked because it fit most of the requirements. It has the scoop pockets in the front with no flaps. Unfortunately though, it does have a vent in the back, which Indy's jacket did not. So here is my tweed professor jacket, kind of like a close enough. And my other jacket is from Carolian Dry Goods, maker of Indiana Jones props, well respected in our community. Now this jacket does get the details right. It does have the scoop pockets, it does have no vent in the back, has the correct number of buttons on the sleeves and in the front. But I will say, this jacket is more like a heavy shirt. It kind of lacks the structure of a true blazer. When you wear it, you feel like you're wearing your favorite flannel shirt more than a jacket. Also, I should note that these jackets seem to run on the small side. My chest size is like a 40.5 to 41, so I bought the 42, and even getting a little bit bigger than my chest size, you can see it's still just a little small on me. So take that in account when you're ordering, maybe get the next size up. And because it is lighter and more shirt-like, you don't get as hot wearing it as you do getting like a real wool blazer. It's cooler, better for warmer weather. It's also not real wool, it's mostly rayon, so some of the issues you have with wool, like the itchiness and all that, you don't really have with this jacket, and Adam did a really great job with it. So now you are all set for your soiree. Happy holidays, and I wish you all much fortune and glory.